two most common reasons for VR playtimes to get cut short are comfort and battery life, or I should say a lack of both of those things. The Quest headsets all come with some variation of this elastic strap here, which is about as comfortable as it looks, and the battery life for the Quest 3 and the Quest 3S is about 2 to 3 hours depending on what you're doing. For these reasons, a battery-powered head strap is usually the first accessory that I will recommend most new Quest headset owners to get. So in my time, I've had the chance to use quite a few different battery-powered head straps for my Quest 2, Quest 3, and Quest 3S, and I can honestly say that the A3 Max by ANNAPRO is one of the best head straps that I have used for any headset. So let's get into the reasons why. So when it comes to comfort, this head strap is obviously a big step up from the elastic band that comes with the Quest. That isn't saying much in itself, so let's get into some details. We've got this padded kind of PU leather material backplate which rests at the back of your head, and as you can see, there's a bit of tilt to it. And also there's some flex to it as well, so it's not super hard, and that just means it will be able to mold to whatever weird shape the back of your head is. And moving to the front, you can see hopefully you can see there's some very thick padding here on the front kind of halo part of the head strap. It's important that this is very thick and comfortable because this is where most of the pressure is going to be going to relieve the pressure that would otherwise be on your face. So this is nice and thick and padded. There are also various hinges here, as you can see, to make sure that you can get the perfect fit for your head strap. Now, these are easy enough to move, as you can see, I can move them around, but they're not so loose, they're stiff enough that they hold their place once you've got them in position, and this is important because it means that you don't have to keep kind of constantly adjusting it every time you take it off and put it on. You kind of just put it on, tighten it up, and you know it's going to be where it needs to be. Now, that all sounds nice, but how does it actually feel? Well, it feels pretty good, actually, you'll be happy to hear. It does a good job of evenly distributing the pressure to the other parts of your head. So while some head straps, they might successfully remove the pressure from your face. However, that pressure later starts to appear in other areas of the head. That is not the case with this head strap. It does a really good job of evenly distributing the pressure in such a way that it doesn't necessarily feel like pressure at all. You can go for really long play sessions with this and not feel uncomfortable, which is the ultimate goal of having such a head strap. Another really important thing that I've learned from using quite a few different head straps is that it needs to feel secure without feeling tight, which again this accomplishes. It feels very secure once you've got it locked on your head, but again you don't feel any tightness anywhere on your head. The secure feeling is really important because if you are doing other games where you're moving around a lot, maybe you're doing a dance game, or maybe you're dodging bullets or whatever it is, if you're moving around a lot and there's some wobble to the head strap and it starts to become loose, you'll find yourself having to kind of readjust your head strap every now and again, which doesn't sound like a big deal, but if you're having to do it constantly every time you're in VR, it can just get a little bit annoying. That has not at all been the case with this. It does a fantastic job of feeling like it is securely on your head without applying too much pressure and without wobbling or kind of losing its fit. So they've done a really good job with how this fits and feels on your head. Alright, so let's talk performance. So the ANNAPRO A3 Max comes with these cool kind of banana-shaped, telephone-shaped batteries. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm doing. Magnetic batteries that fit onto the back of the head strap like so, which is always very satisfying to do. That will just never get old. And I don't know if you heard, but it makes this little audible beeping sound just to make sure that it has got a secure connection. The magnetic element here makes them very easy to kind of swap in and out if you've got a couple batteries and you are in the middle of a play session and you just want to get a quick recharge of your battery. You don't really need to fumble around with plugging things in and such. You can just take it off, get a new one, stick it on. I hope you know where the back of your head is, because that's all you got to do. Just place it on there, and you're good to go. Now, in terms of how the battery actually performs and increases the overall playtime you get out of your VR headset, they've actually got this handy little sticker. You probably can't see it here. I'll have it appear on the screen somewhere. But this is a handy little sticker on the front of the head strap that gives you a couple different scenarios, and from my testing, this has been actually pretty accurate. This has been a very similar experience to what I've got out of it, so I'll run you through all of that real quick. So in all of these scenarios, it will show you how much battery power you will get for your headset if you have a fully charged battery, so that's 4 bars, and taking it down to 1 bar of power on here. So in the first instance, if your headset is completely dead, 0% battery and turned off, you will get from 0 to 99% battery power in 120 minutes, which is about 2 hours. However, if your headset is about 0% and on standby, then you will get from 0 to 85% battery power in about 85 minutes. So that's an hour and 25 minutes. Sorry, I had to check my math just then real quick. However, if you're actually actively using the headset, so it gives the example here of using it with Epic Roller Coaster, which I've never tried because I fear I will vomit violently everywhere if I did. But if you were to do that, it will take you from 0% battery up to 50% battery, remember, while you're actually playing and using the headset, in about 90 minutes, so that's an hour and a half. And for the last scenario, I'm not sure I fully understand it, however, I will give my best interpretation. So I understand it to mean that if your headset is at 95% battery and you're actively using it, you can plug in one of these and it will keep your headset at 95%, so you won't lose any battery life for 180 minutes, which is like 3 hours. Only after 3 hours, once this battery is dead, will you revert back to your internal Quest battery, and again you'll be at 95%, so that will last you approximately another 2 to 3 hours. Now, one thing that is a definite bonus for this head strap that a lot of others aren't able to do is it can actively charge your headset. So what that means is if you're using your headset and you have, I don't know, say like 40% battery, you can plug the battery in and it will actually charge your headset up, you know, to like 50, 60, 70% while you're still playing. It won't just stop it from depleting, it will actively charge your headset up at the same time. Now, this can actually be really useful in certain situations. So say your headset was at 5% battery only, you could plug the head strap battery in and it will actively charge your headset all the way up to, let's say, like 90, 100%. And once the external battery is done, you can just put that down to charge and then continue to use the internal battery, which is now, you know, basically fully charged. Once the internal battery then wears all the way down again, hopefully your external battery will have been juiced up a little bit, so you can then plug it back in, and it just allows you to get a lot of extra battery life. If you weren't able to actively charge your headset, you would be at 5%. You would plug it in, and once the external battery was dead, you'd still be left at 5% and wouldn't really be able to use your headset much. You'd have to wait for everything to charge back up. All right, so let's discuss the ease of use, because I feel like this is often an important but overlooked element of VR head straps. So the A3 Max attaches to your headset by simply sliding these little arms. In fact, let's give you a demo. You just slide these arms on and off your headset, like so, and that is literally it. That's all you have to do to attach it on. A lot of other head straps will require you to remove this facial interface at the front and then have another kind of band that you'll need to try and feed through this little loop at the front, and that is by far the most annoying part of attaching a new head strap. So I'm really happy that the A3 Max just completely avoids that and makes it super quick, super easy to attach the head strap on and off. Now, this could be quite a big deal to you depending on how you use your headset. So if you travel a lot, you'll realize that most carry cases don't actually have enough space for you to put the headset on with an extra head strap on. So you'll have to remove the head strap to pack everything up separately. And in fact, I was recently at the airport and I'd done exactly that. And I was sitting, I had like half an hour or something to kill, and I wanted to go into VR. I thought about it, but then I thought, no, you know what? I don't want to go through the hassle of having to kind of put the head strap together and attach it on and everything. And like, I didn't want to be dealing with that in the middle of the airport. But then I remembered that I was currently using this A3 Max by ANNAPRO, and I realized that it was super easy and I wouldn't have to fiddle with anything. So I just went for it, and literally within like 5 seconds, I had the headset put together and I was in VR having a great time, getting all kinds of weird looks at the airport as usual. So a couple other little details and features. The little wheel here at the back that you twist to tighten and loosen the head strap is pretty quiet. In fact, have a little listen. This is it being tightened. And this is it being loosened. So hopefully you heard that, or didn't hear that. I guess there wasn't much to hear. Yeah, I thought that was just a nice little touch. And for the cable here, you can see it's, well, you probably can't see here, but there's a little clip on the inside of this. Wait for it. There's a little clip right here on the inside that just holds the cable in place. And again, that just means that your cable isn't just like dangling around. If it's not plugged in, then without that clip, it would kind of just be flapping at the side of your face and probably slapping you around while you're playing VR and just getting annoying in general. So little details like having that built-in clip there to hold the cable in place is just nice to have. Now, when it comes to charging the external battery up, you can use the USB-C cable that is included in the box, and you can actually just plug it directly into this USB-C port here, and you can charge your batteries like that. However, if you want to do it the cooler way, and also the slightly more convenient way, you can use the CS1 charging dock, which is just this little charging dock. There's space for 2 batteries here, so if you've got a spare battery, you can hot swap them out very easily, making sure you've at least got 1 battery always fully charged. And all you do is you just plug the USB-C cable into the dock, and then your batteries will just sit on top and magnetically attach in the same way that they attach to the back of the head strap. And while this isn't 100% necessary, it will definitely prove useful if you've got 2 batteries, so you don't need to have 2 separate cables plugged in to charge them up. You can have one device charging both your batteries at the same time. But also, if, like me, you've got your charging devices on display in your house, it just looks a bit nicer and a little bit cooler than having like the cables just plugged into your battery and having it just lying there. So with all that being said, I think this is going to be the new main head strap that I use for just my general day-to-day VR purposes. And if you want to pick one up yourself, you can check the link in the description down below, and I am confident you will not be disappointed, especially if you're coming from the elastic strap from the Quest 3. It's going to blow your mind. And that is going to be it for this video. So I do hope you learned something. I hope it was informative, and if you have any further questions, feel free to drop them in the comments and I'll make sure to get back to you. If you're still looking for more VR content, then make sure you're subscribed to this channel, because that's what we're all about. And there'll be a couple of videos, in fact, probably over here, just floating randomly in the air. Don't know how I didn't notice those before, but you can click on either of them and they'll take you to another video on this channel. Other than that, have a fantastic day. I'll see you guys in the next one.